Okay guys, so this is what my model table looks like when I'm working, and boy have I been working. So this is the escape pod as it looks right now. As you can see, it's kind of been turned into a nifty little weird sci-fi rocket sled kind of thing. I've got a little rocket booster in the back, and you can see some engine detail underneath there. What this is this is a light that's going to be able to be powered, and it's also going to provide a place to mount the model so that it can be moved. So I'm going to just and then as you can see, there's been some little model-y bits and details put inside this hole to kind of fill it out and make it look a little bit more interesting. Now, this bottom piece here used to come out much more, and what I did is I just kind of shaped it and gave it a little bit more of a curve, and there you go. And the whole thing has been turned upside down, so it has a little bit different look. And these little pieces on the side were they were actually rocket, like little missiles, kind of like this. And now they kind of just add on to this piece and create a little vent in the back. Of course, none of this has been painted, so it all looks really funky right now. But when it's completed, everything will be the same color and or appropriate coloring. So I'm just going to open it up and let you see inside. Okay, and again, here's some little bits and pieces there and an interesting thing here, as you can see, there's spackle putty all the way along here, because this cracked when I was drilling this hole. But no biggie. Just spackled it up with some putty, and when it fully dries, I'll sand it down. And then in here, you can see the Christmas light, and there's some light shielding going on here to keep the light here in the cockpit where I want it. And then this is a big blob of plumber's putty to lock in this rocket booster, and the rest of these little bits and pieces, which are really just there to give you something to sort of look at if you kind of happen to see a little bit in there. Doesn't have to be much. And those are all put in. The kind of glue that I use this. This is stuff you get at the hobby shop. There's a lot of different kinds of glues like this. This is the thick brand style, and this is the thin style. And the neat thing about these is that they are instant. It's instant adhesive. And when you're working with modeling, you can, of course, you can get this stuff. I used to use this stuff a lot, but yeah, I mean, you're going to be waiting for a while for it to dry, and it's not the greatest. I'd recommend the more powerful stuff, but I get a bunch of different glues and play with them and see what you like. If you're doing stuff like this, you might be just watching these because you're interested in the game, and that's great. So I don't want to bore you too much with stuff like that. Here, there have been a few cracks and things where I've had to putty, because these things were all separate and glued together, of course. So anywhere where things don't lock together just right, there's a little bit of putty in there to kind of lock it together and make it look like it's all supposed to be one piece. I actually made a couple of holes in the engine block, something you really don't want to do in a real car. And I had to putty them down and sand them and stuff. Everything will look much more uniform, of course, when it's painted up. So that's the little Jack Houston's rocket sled. It's if I were making this for a movie, yeah, I might not use an engine block at the bottom because it's kind of obviously an engine block. But I think it looks pretty cool. It's a common practice when you're kit bashing to use car parts. In fact, when I'm doing that kind of thing, I have whole bags of just car engine parts that make great details to glue in and create engines and whatnot. And then over here I've actually modified the cockpit so that the little control panel is a little bit lower. I gave it a new pedestal to sit on, and so it's kind of lowered it and changed the angle of it a bit, because I am going to need to be able to see the front of this in the game. It's gonna become important. So anyway, that's the escape pod, and I hope you enjoyed watching me build it. And I will go ahead and post another update when it's fully painted. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that soon or not, to be quite honest, but I'll be sure to update you guys when it's finished. This is definitely one of the more fun aspects of the game, is building stuff like that. that's pretty neat. It kind of makes me want to go make a Star Wars movie or something. Anyway, all right. Thanks, guys, and remember, be sure and tweet and post Facebook links to the channel. Any way you can get people aware of it. Please spread the word that I am making the game right here on YouTube, and you can kind of watch me as I go. And be sure to subscribe and comment and like to your heart's content. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. All right, bye.